keep it 1 for 100. My man keep it 1 for 100. My ladies keep it 1 for 100. My peoples keep it 1 for 100.
100.
Welcome to Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports on this Sunday afternoon. Get a little started early this afternoon, folks. I'm running solo, but I have a couple special guests today. Big Ethan had to go take care of his grandma's birthday, somebody's birthday. They have a bunch of birthdays, so that's good. As long as you keep having birthdays, that's good. That's good thing. Next, we have a couple special guests. We'll have Stillwater's running back on, Shayden Green, and then we'll have Coach Jones on to do a 10-minute segment, talk about OSU, what they got going on in the Dell City Eagles. Since I'm not doing the Coach Jones show, we'll still have him on throughout the season and talk about what's going on. We got some big games to cover this week and some games that covered from last week. Got a chance to go out and watch some Jones Longhorns against the Bethany Broncos. You're talking about a great high school football game, Class 2A versus Class 4A, and you couldn't tell who was 4A or who was 2A because both teams were good. Jones lose a tough one. Drive all the way down, probably about 45 seconds left in the ball game, scored a touchdown, 4th and 1. They get in, had to lead most of the ball game, and then to the very end, Bethany hits a long, probably 50-yard, 60-yard touchdown pass. Don't ask me what kind of coverage Jones was in because they wasn't in prevent. Folks, prevent. White, green, yellow, blue, whatever. Red is probably man-to-man. But, coach, get in prevent. Take number 17 and number 7 and put them both on a hash and let them throw it deep. They had no timeouts. No timeouts. Didn't have to use a timeout. First play, they go deep and boom, score. Jones had a chance to get down there, but ran out of time. So great ball game, though. Got a chance to see some of the young guys I used to coach back in the young days when they was in 6th graders. Some are freshmen. Some are playing. Some are getting PT as freshmen. Ty Durham starts on offensive line, number 77. Kid's just a freshman. Looks like a grown man. I have a picture of me and him, man, and the kid is a grown man after playing high school football. In high school, went up against some good linemen, D linemen at over Bethany, did a good job against them. Big Luke, number 12, outstanding baseball and football player for the Jones Longhorn. Really good big-time leader, just a junior. His little brother's Eli. He'll be another great player to come through there. They have some good guys. They have a freshman kicker, Carson, that played for me. Great baseball player also. But I just tell you, man, Jones got it going on. Got a couple guys that moved in. Number 4 for Jones, I think, is a real deal. I just tell you right now, I think he's got offers from UCO, but I think if he keeps balling out the rest of the season like he has been, he would take care of business and probably get some, something bigger than UCO. Not saying UCO's bad because UCO gets a big-time win over number 2 Missouri. UCO had, 3 or 4 different coaches in the past years. Not like the wrestling program, but they're trying to put the football program on the map like the wrestling program, and that's what you want, folks. You want UCO to be big time. Let's make them a D1 prospect. Let my son get out of there first before they go D1, just because if they do, they got to, wrestling has to quit, kind of like Lindenwood. Their wrestling program went away. I want I want the UCO to go D1, but let my baby be gone first. So, he ain't got to try to go nowhere else. Let him finish his last 2 years up at UCO, try to win another one. But like I said, great high school football. Got a lot of great games, Saturday games. Got to watch college yesterday. Some good games. OU still kind of shaky with Tennessee coming in town. I just don't know what to think, folks. I think the defense is good. The offense is a suspect. When your quarterback has to do a lot of running and scoring, there was Jamel Holloway, Charles Thompson, some of those guys doing that, Danny Bradley, somebody like that doing that, I'd be feeling good, but not with a spread offense quarterback, running receivers, dropping some balls. I haven't really seen Jackson Arnold throw a ball down the field deep yet and hit anybody. And hopefully he gets some of his guys back this week, and it'll help a lot when you can get some of your guys back. It can help you when Nick Anderson can spread the field. Six is doing a great job, but I'd still – I tell you right now, I can see I don't know how you pronounce his name, number 27, Shakahu. But I think you can see him probably getting a transfer portal. He starts the game, and then he doesn't end the game. And folks always tell people, man, it don't care if you don't start the game, it's who finished the game. And right now you got Barnes and Lamb finishing the game, and so those are your two home run hitters. And I think you got to do some things with those guys, man, because they can – anytime they touch the ball, they got a chance to go all the way. With him, I think he's more your goal line. Maybe you put him in as a Wildcat package or something. But, I know he had a hell of a year last year, but – that's last year's. It's like a job. What have you done for me lately? And that's what the Sooners are saying. But OU's defense, they played great. And they gave a couple plays. But offense got to be way, way better with Tennessee. Tennessee scoring 60 points in a half, folks. In a half. Not in the game, in a half. And we're scoring 30 points in the whole game. So it's gonna be a tough ball game. Texas, another big win yesterday. Come in with Archie Manning. The kid is the real deal, folks. He is probably the best quarterback in college football, even though he's a backup. And that's one big-time backup. Kid goes and throws for 4 touchdowns, runs for 1, so 5 touchdowns in 2 halves of play. That tells you what kind of player he is. So I just tell you right now, Texas is easy could be number 1. Kentucky gave Georgia everything they wanted. Probably should have won the ball game. Had some costly turnovers, some dumb plays at the end. Kept kicking field goals. Couldn't get a touchdown. Touchdown wins ball game. Field goal loses game. So that's where you're at on that. But I will tell you though, South Carolina, blew it. I think they're really good. Defense good. I don't think if their quarterback gets knocked out of the game, I think they win the ball game. Folks, you got all these NIL deals and these quarterbacks. Why we got quarterbacks that can't throw the ball? We got college quarterbacks. They talk about the Tulsa quarterback. Like, oh, this guy's accurate. That guy can hit the back of a barn. And we got all these guys. I mean, that's here. That's here in Oklahoma. I know they got to be better than that guy. And he was a walk-on. So you can't tell me some of these guys around the metro can't go play quarterback in Tulsa. Tulsa's Tulsa, man. I know kids get scholarship there. And, I know you got a couple kids from, the metro around that's playing for them. But Tulsa's not very good. I think if you want to go play college ball, I think you go play there. I mean, I know it's D1, but they're not going to ever play in a bowl game. Not a big-time bowl game. So let your baby go there for a couple years and have him get a transfer portal and go somewhere bigger. That's what a lot of guys are doing. They're using these smaller schools, these small Power 5, smaller Division I schools as junior college and go there for a couple years and move on to something else. OSU, I think they got 2 receivers. Presley's a go-to guy. You look at the running back, Ali, Ali was bad. He was a bad boy last year. And you can't get 100 yards on Tulsa. Well, you ain't hit the Big 12 yet. And you got some games coming up that's going to be tough, And so you wonder, was he a one-hit wonder kind of like Milli Vanilli? Girl, it's true. Ooh, 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 I love you. And maybe that's what Ali was, just a one-time lip singer. Because, he hasn't hit 100 yards yet. I think he hit 100 yards one game. And he's getting 17, 18, 19 carries a game, and so don't know about that. But college football is full effect, man. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to get even more juicier and interesting in the next few weeks when you start getting into SEC games, man, and, you find out who's tough. Because I think Georgia get beat. I do. I think Alabama could be the real deal. They can run and throw. They're always gonna have a tough defense. No, they're not the Nick Saban Alabama team, but they're still a good Alabama team. I think OU get their offense good. I think OU can be right there. And folks, I'm not saying OU can't get in the playoffs. I think OU's gonna beat somebody they shouldn't beat and lose to somebody they shouldn't lose to. That's just the way it's gonna go. So like I said, a lot of big interesting things today, man. We'll get into some of the high school recap games of week 2, and talk about some of the games going on week 3. Like I said, we got a couple special guests on again. Once again, we'll have Mr. Green from Stillwater, their running back. I think it's probably my first Stillwater player I ever had on. And then we'll have Coach Jones on, talk about his up-and-coming game with the Midwest City Bombers. Bombers get their first win over PC West, and PC West might be one of the worst teams in high school football. Hey, show's called Keep It 100, and that's what I do. I got to keep it 100. I can't lie. Not on a Sunday. Come on, PC. Got all those athletes. Woo! But I tell you right now, they wouldn't beat Jones. They wouldn't beat Bethany. Carl Arbor does this thing again, put up 70 points against Lawton. Wait a second. Lawton might be one of them. Woo, they're 5A, though. I think PC's small 6A. But, man, I'll just tell you right there. Woo-wee. You give up 60 points or 70 points as a defensive coordinator. What do you do when you go home? What do you tell your wife? When she said, baby, how was the game? You say, what do you say to her? What do you say? Do you look around and act like you didn't hear? The dog bark. Roo, 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 roo. Dog's barking at you because he know you gave up 70 points too, or 65. Your kids don't talk to you because they're embarrassed. They can't go out and play in the playground because they're like, your daddy gave up 60 points. That's how bad it is. I mean, I don't know. Try to slow them down. Do something. Something. Do something. Yes, got a little thing I'm going to pick under the tent. Going to try to come out with a new little gig. Ladies high school basketball, Oklahoma Ladies High School basketball, me and Coach Vic. I'm going to try to kick it off next week. And it's going to be a 30-minute segment of just talking high school girls basketball. Try to pump the girls basketball up. We do this on Keep It 100. It ain't going to be Keep It 100, but it's going to be Oklahoma high school girls basketball, talking about the girls basketball, promoting the girls, talking about the top girls, the new girls coming up, the girls going out, have some coaches come on and interview with us. It's like I said, just a 30-minute show, quick and easy. Get you tuned in for next week, and you be like, man, I can't wait to listen to that show next week because it's going to be good. Vic knows his stuff. He does Above the Rim. Coach Vic coached different places at Luther. He's over at Headley. He's the head coach at Harrah High School basketball girls right now. Got a chance to talk to him a few times, man. Great guy. Loves the game, loves the women. So if you got somebody that loves the women is going to promote your daughter, hey, you got to jump on board that, It's going to be something you guys can listen to for 30 minutes as you walk on the treadmill, as you walk the dog, as you're sitting there listening to your daughter or your daughter's practice or her training. You can listen to us talk about your kid, talk about your baby girl. And that brings a smile to every mama's face. Like, oh, they're talking about my baby. Everybody gets happy. Oh, yeah. That's just how it is. But like I said, that'd be something we're going to kick off here in the next week or two. We're going to get into some of these games from last week before I bring Mr. Green on. And then we'll bring Coach Jones on. Then I'll finish up the show with the big games of this week. 3A. We got some big games this week. But we'll start it off in 6A. You had Norman over Edmond Santa Fe. Norman gets the win 34-14. Mustang and Broken Arrow. Mustang gets the win over Broken Arrow. Broken Arrow is not the same Broken Arrow they was a few years ago when they won a state championship. Don't know what happened. Maybe because all their players keep leaving and going to Jinx. Maybe that's what's happened. But Jinx ain't the Jinx to do who we thought they were. What did Coach Green say? They're not who we thought they were, and that's who Jinx is. I know Keyshawn was griping. What did he say? Tell me what it is, whatever his quote is. I got the chance to text him this morning, man, and I said, hey, Key, I'm going to keep it 100 with you. You guys got cheated on that one play. You really did. You got cheated on that one play. It was a catch. Probably should have been a touchdown. He puts the ball over. Then Union guys come over and say, no catch. Then everybody get together, then no catch, and man, Keyshawn, and I know the crowd was crazy. Then next thing you know, a couple people got kicked out. Coach got kicked out. Players got kicked out. The young man that was ineligible, then he got eligible, that came from Broken Arrow. Now he's over at Jinx. He got kicked out, threw his helmet, which he shouldn't throw his helmet. Son, you got to keep your composure. Never know who's watching. You a state champion track. You know better than that. I understand you got robbed. But guess what? It ain't the end of the season. It'd be different if it was the last state championship game and that was the last game you was going to play. But, son, you got a chance to play them again. And guess what? You keep that in your back pocket. I tell Zoe all the time, the stuff that, hey, things don't go your way, keep it in your back pocket. When my brother always say, I got receipts. Have receipts. Yes, Jinx got robbed. I'm going to keep it on 100. You got robbed, Jinx. You got robbed. You playing at Union. One of you guys are going to go 1 and 2. Union said, not in our house we're going to go 1 and 2. But I got to say something to Jinx. You guys got 20-some move-ins, right? Whatever you got. It don't look good, Coach. Chemistry ain't there. Poor Jones, he runs the ball 20 times a game. Get him out some screams. The kid can go. He's tough as nails. But, man, help him. Quarterback, I don't know what the quarterback Jones, he's throwing everything sidearm. Quit watching Patrick Mahomes. You missed a lot of throws. You played skip rock on a couple of your passes. The guys are wide open. You guys scored 3 points? 3 points, 4 quarters. Great defense. But it's not like you guys got down there, you fumble the ball. You turn the ball over. Come on, Jinx. You can't have 20 guys move in and you're playing like that. Come on. Look yourself in the mirror. Coaches, look yourself in the mirror. Get KD in space. Get him out there on the corners. Set some screens up with those big linemen in front of him. Let him take it to the house. Everything's between the tackles. Come on. I'm not saying I'm no great high school coach, but come on. Mix it up. Then the new guy you bring in that's from Broken Arrow, the receiver, you barely play him. When he caught the ball, he made something happen. Coaches, look yourself in the face, man. Do you really want to win, or do you want to make parents happy on a touchdown club or the Boy Scout or PTA club? Really look yourself in the mirror. Seriously, because I'm looking at it. It's like the other night in the Jones game. Number 7 was a playmaker for Jones. Every time he touched the ball, something good happened. But we didn't go to him a lot. Why? Why, Coach? I loved it. I love being on the sideline, cheering for him, getting to see some of my players. But, man, number 7 touched the ball every series. Every series. Find some way to give him the ball. You know why? Because he's going to make things happen. That's what playmakers do. That's why Deion was called prime time, baby. Because every time he touched the ball, he was high-stepping to the – come on, coaches. Use your players. Sometimes let them go both ways. Deion does with Henry. Kid's a stud. He's a stud. There's a lot of more guys out there. Henry ain't the first guy in college or high school football that ever went both ways. A lot of guys can go both ways. Yes, you got to know when to take him out and give him the breather. Maybe don't put him on kickoff time or kickoff team or kickoff return team or punt return. Use him when he needs to be used, though. Jinx, man, I'm really right now 1 and 2. You guys got to look yourself, especially when you have 20 kids move in. Then you go steal everybody. You went picked off everybody's tree. I'm going to get this lineman. I'm going to get this receiver, get this linebacker, get this tight end. And we're not winning. Owasso said, hey, guess what? I'm 3-0. Owasso 3-0. Big time. More. My man, Malachi, he's showing out. Got the player of the game, player of the week, whatever you got. Gets the win over sophomore. 45-13. So Westmore is the worst team in Moore this year. But Coach White going to get it together, I promise you. I promise you he'll get it together before you give him 4 to 5 years. I know that's a long time. You really don't want to wait that long. But that's when my nephew will be up there in his class, and they're pretty good. They're pretty good. Pretty good. So congratulations to Coach Bryant. He's balling. You know, he going to knock off one of these teams, Jinx and, Union or somebody like that. He going to find himself in the playoff. He got the big game this week. We'll talk about it later on. Then, like I said, we talked about the Jinx and Union game, 9-3 ball game, folks. 9-3 ball game. Great ball game. I got a chance to watch it this morning. Yes. But I tell you, that team I keep telling you about, don't be surprised if you see this team up there in Edmond, on the other side of Edmond, Deer Creek, is it playing for a state championship. They get the win over Norman North, 35-10, putting up big numbers. Owasso, like I said, they stay hot. Win over Sand Springs, 48-17. Stillwater handled, hey, I don't know what Stillwater was thinking about Carl Albert coming this week, but Stillwater had to come back and battle Enid. But Enid's one of those teams, military base. Might have had 15 kids move in. Never know what's up in Enid. Enid's hot. I don't think they've been good since when the Millwood boys coach left them. But hey, they knocked Zoe off last week and had Stillwater on the ropes. But Stillwater finds a way to win the ball game, stay undefeated. So you'll have Carl Albert and Stillwater game I talk about. We're going to talk to the running back here in a few minutes. But Stillwater gets the win 38-23. Big showdown next Friday night up there, and that'll be the game that Keeper 100 be at. Watching Stillwater and watching Carl Albert should be a great game. To a power 5A powerhouse and then a 6A small powerhouse should be a really, really good game. And then you're going on to the 5A programs and you look at Newcastle. Lose again to Blanchard. Blanchard gets the win, 14-10. Bishop McGinnis get the win over Dallas Bishop, 34-28. Good game. Game was played out in Dallas. That's a good job. I love it when you can get in the bus and travel with your buddies and go down there and hang out and kick it and listen to music and go eat somewhere good, and Touchdown Club feeds you good. Hey, Home and touchdown Jesus. There you go. Way to go, both teams. Coach McDonough gets his first win of the season over Ardmore, 34-13. Shawnee Wolves get their first win over Ardmore. Like I said, 34-13. Lod Mac all over Zoe. Zoe. We got to get it going, baby. We 0-3. I know we had shirts saying save Zoe. A lot of fans going to get, hey, you get anxious. You get this guy down here, man. Guy played NFL ball, played big-time college ball in Missouri. Hey, he's supposed to change the program. Lod was a powerhouse back in the day, with Brewer and all those guys, man. Lod Knight was a powerhouse with McFadden, Went on to win state. What happened? You got 3 Lod teams there. You only got one that's got a winning record. Lod Mac. Lod Knight. Woo! Lod Knight got the brakes beat off him by CA. CA still scoring. Coach Dar, quit that. I'm not doing anything, Tony. Yeah, you still running up the score. Not really. He had the third team in. Anderson Collier throwing touchdown passes. I love it. But, hey, that's what you do, man. You get the young guys in. You don't just say, hey, I'm going to put them in and let them hand the ball off, and it's a running clock. You let them get experience. You never know when you're going to need them. Play them. Play the youngsters. They go to practice Monday through Friday just like everybody else. Get them in the game. Keep your starters out. Save them. Rest them. Get them ready for conference play. Big time. I love it. Like I said, Memphis City get their first win. Coach Hall gets his first win of the season. He'll have a big game next week against the Dell City Eagles. And then you had Collinsville. Can't wait to see that Collinsville-Dell City game here in a few weeks. I'm going to have to make that drive down there, man. That's going to be a good one. Collinsville get the win over Edison Prep. 56, folks. 56 points they put up on Edison Prep. What does that defensive coordinator go home and say? I guarantee his wife didn't make him dinner that night. She probably said, nah, baby, not tonight. You get it on Saturday. Talked about Carl Albert. Blanchard, like I said, they got the win over Newcastle, 14-10. The Soul Bowl, it's one game I've never been to. I need to go. Coach Dre was on there clowning people yesterday, talking about I had to work. No, he don't work on no Saturday. Talking about what's the score. Because them Millwood Falcons beat up, but them Douglas Trojan beat them up. Not my man Turner's over there, man. They doing my man wrong. Millwood beat him like that. 62-0. Woo! Man. Not a field goal, not an extra point, not a safety, nothing. 62-0 on the Soul Bowl. I got to make that game though. That's on my bucket list. I got to make that game. I'm about to do that next year. Quarterback, man, the guy's a big-time player, man. Big-time player. I hope he gets to go somewhere big-time because he's a big-time player. Big-time players need to go somewhere big, and he's a big-time player. So congratulations to Millwood. They have a big-time game here in a couple weeks against Jones. That'll probably be for the district championship, and I'm going to probably try to make that game because Jones is fun to watch, man. They really are. The quarterback is a little scrammy little dude. He kind of remind you of Johnny Football, a little Baker Mayfield in him, man. I mean, he make plays with his feet, Sometimes you're like, whoa, where you at? I mean, he's moving around. I know them linemen be like, man, stay in one spot. But he make plays with his feet, though. Good kid. Good Henderson, I think is his last name. Good little quarterback, man. Good little athlete, though. Right, real good athlete. Talk about hair. Coach Blink. Man, Coach Blink walk around like got his chest poked out. You know why? He won 65-0 against Western Heights. But I don't know if Western Heights got any players because everybody picked him off the tree and took him. But big win for you, Coach Blink. Sitting at 2-0. Got a tough one coming up this week against Seminole. We'll see what you can get to them Seminoles. I mean, but you should better get that win to be 3-0 and then get ready for district play where you got a hell of a district with Blanchard, Tuttle. Woo! Hey, I got you picked to finish top 4 in that district going off the playoff this year. Let's go do it, Coach Blink. Go do it, man. One of my favorite coaches out there because he keeps it 100. Always keep it 100. Who else we got out there? Got Cushing getting the win over Perkins, 23-13. Then Bethany over, like I said, we talked about Bethany over Jones. Hell of a game. Once again, hell of a game. 36-29. Game could have went either way. Jones had the win, but Bethany found a way to get the win. Jones had it. Bethany snatched it. But that happens, though. But anytime you can go be a 2A team and go play a 4A team, man, you got to give, hey, like I told Luke, man, you keep your head up on that game. You were supposed to lose that game. They 2 classes higher than you, and you found a way to win. Big time, Jones. And, hey, give it up to the coaches and whoever that set that game up because that's big time because you got teams here in Oklahoma run for teams. Hey, I've been waiting to see that Carl Albert Choctaw game. Still waiting. Talk about them Yellow Jackets real quick. Went up to Kansas. I got you some love. You went up to Missouri and got a game in on Thursday night. But once again, you gave up 66 points to a team that ran a flex bone. Not a passing team. Flex bone's supposed to slow to make the clock go fast, get in and get out and get home. Choctaw put up 44. Don't get me wrong. I watched the game Thursday night, didn't have nothing else to do, so I watched the game because I want to talk about this game. You know, you got your defensive coordinator on Facebook talking to J.R. Moore, talking about, I don't talk to junior high coach. Well, you might need to hire J.R. Moore as your defensive coordinator if you're giving up 66 points, and that's keeping it 100. But come on, guys. J.R. Moore was a hell of a player back in his day. Get a man his prep. I don't care if he's coaching junior high. Somebody got to get your junior high team ready for high school. Giving up 66 points. Then you're playing a back-and-forth quarterback. The one quarterback, I ain't saying nobody's name because people get mad and they might call me and tell me I stock shelves over there. But I'm just keeping it 100. It's a talk show, folks. That's what I'm supposed to do. If Dunn, Jones, they do something wrong, I talk about them too. And I love them guys like my brother. But, guys, you can't keep switching quarterbacks. You get something going. Not saying Williams had his best game. He missed some throws. That team did a good job containing Juju. Because, I mean, you gave that team gave everybody the blueprint what to do to Juju. Tata go when Juju goes. Williams can go, but, man, you don't have the top athletes that you had before. The Chase Jackson, the Gabe Johnsons, the young man that's over at UCO, receiver. You don't have those top guys, man, you know. You're running back. I mean, he good, but, I mean, he ain't like the guys you had in the past. You know, you don't have that big time receiver that can get down the field. You know, defense is okay. You know, still you're gonna find out what Stillwater's like about. You got Bigsby coming to town. If that flexbone team put up 66 on you, woo! I don't know what Bigsby can do. Now I'm just keeping it real. You know, I think. I mean, I told somebody the other day. You know, I said, "Man, what do you think about Choctaw? You think they can win a state champ?" I said, "Man, the well is running out." I just don't see unless you start getting some more great athletes to move in. You know, I know his younger son's team, they're pretty good with him and Aaron coach. That's a few years though. You know, when you ain't winning, people ain't gonna come in. You know, but I'm just saying, giving up 66 points and your defensive coordinator's talking noise to people on Facebook, man, look yourself in the mirror before you start talking. That's keeping it 100. Get off those guys because I'm pretty sure they'd be mad at me for talking about them. But hey, call a talk show, folks, is what it is. It's called a talk show. Don't get mad. Jim Traber do it all the time. Listen to the kids, and you know they're not playing this PlayStation. I mean, Jim Traber hangs up on people and call them names. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna hang up on you. I'm gonna listen to your conversation. But I'm just saying, don't talk noise if you're giving up 66 points and you're telling another guy, I'm not gonna talk to you because you're a junior high coach. It doesn't matter if you're a junior high, if you're elementary, if you're out there coaching and giving your time to help kids get better. And plus, this guy played at a higher level, so. You know, somebody give him an opportunity, he'll be there. As we at Tuttle gets the win over Noble, 56-7. Tuttle sitting at 3-0, about to start conference, man. You know, and you know, you look at Tuttle, Blanchard, you know, Wagner, and all those teams, man. I mean, it's gonna be. I love it. I can't wait to playoff start. I know we still got weeks to go, but man, Wagner gets the win over Tahlequah, 51-7. It just tells you how tough they are, man. Washington, they're still a tough team in 3A, 2A. I'm going to do 3A and 2A together. Excuse me. Washington gets the win over Purcell. Started off kind of slow, but got the win over Purcell 48-14. Sulphur over Davis. Sulphur over Davis 42-7. One of the top two teams in their class. Then you got North Rock Creek over Prague 49-14. Their outstanding running back Hawkins ended up signing with North Texas, so congratulations to him and his family. Known his dad for a while. Dad worked for Twigs, sold a lot of uniforms. Man, great athlete. Kid's a great athlete, football and basketball, but it's always a dream when your son can go play the next level and you ain't got to worry about paying for it. And I think this kid probably could have went anywhere. Everybody talks about him being one of the best backs in the state, so congratulations to him and his family. And that's big time. But, folks, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to bring Mr. Green on from Stillwater. I know he has practice. I'm going to get him on real quick, get him in and out, and move on. But we'll be right back after what? One of our sponsors, keeping it 100 Oklahoma High School Sports on this Sunday afternoon. We'll be right back.
The gang's the same, but we changed the name, and we're now Chaos Customs OKC. Still your one-stop shop for all your vehicle upfitting and accessory needs. With almost 30 years in the business, we're your go-to for lift kits, wheels, tires, spray liners, bed covers, leather, fleet solutions, and so much more. Give us a call today at 405-778-8878.
Welcome back to Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports on this Sunday afternoon. I'm on the phone with Stillwater's outstanding running back. Was at Dell City, but he took his talents down the highway and said, hey, I'm going to go hit the Pioneers. They're a state champion. I got Mr. Shayden Green. What's up, Mr. Shayden Green? How you doing, sir?
How you doing? I'm doing good.
Man, I can't complain, man. I think you're my first Stillwater player to ever come on Keep It 100. So that makes me happy. Give myself two claps. Two claps, TJ. That's what we do over here, baby. Get fired up. You got a big game this Friday night. How you feeling?
Of course, I'm feeling good, you know.
That's
got to
good.
prepare, of course.
That's it. But, Mr. Green, I ain't going to keep you long. I know you got practice. You got to get prepared for the Colorado Titans, man. It's going to be like a state championship game. But it's not a state championship game, but it will be like a state championship game. Well, Mr. Green, I got to ask you, though. You know, you was at Dell City for a few years, played under Coach Jones. You take your talents down the street to Stillwater. You know, what was it like leaving Dell City? Because I know there was your family and them, your guys and them, your dudes.
I actually talked to, the players before I left and stuff like that, the coaches and stuff. And I really didn't want to leave, but at the same time, I had a better opportunity at Stillwater. And that's something I just took advantage of, and now I'm over here.
No. I mean, everything happens for a reason, you go down to Stillwater, they get some new guys that moved in, and then you look at yourself being part of that offense, that great defense they run down to the zombie defense, and then the great coaching staff and a team that's won a state championship and got a good chance to go play for another state championship with you got Muskogee, you still got, Choctaw and some of the other schools, Sand Springs and some of those other schools. But you guys, put together some things that can put you guys in the front runner. You beat a big team like Union a couple weeks ago, big time game at home. You had a big lead and they came back. What was that win like?
That win was actually good, Obviously, for the first game of the season, big game. And it's just something that we just prepared all week, and we just took advantage of when the time came.
So at the running back position, are you sharing snaps with somebody else, or are you the full-time starting tailback?
I would say I'm full-time.
That's big time. So what's the difference of Stillwater and Dell City? Because I know Coach Jones runs a tight practice, and he's tough on you guys. And Stillwater, is a program right there where the college is at, and Gundy's boys has been there. So, what's it like, playing for Stillwater?
It's amazing, because obviously, you get the recognition, and then, people around town know your name and other things like that. So it's actually, I like it over there.
Yeah, that's big time. I know Coach Jones was sad to lose you. Like I said, he always going to have a stable running backs over there. He has Holmes, and then I think they had Blackwood for the young man that came in from El Reno. And he still got Miles over there. But have you got a chance to talk to any of those guys since you left Dell City?
I talked to him a few times, but it wasn't really like a major big conversation. But I would say we still on good terms.
Oh, no, you always got to stay on good terms, though. So what's some of the goals you have set for yourself this season, especially being your senior year and being at Stillwater?
For my senior year, I made a big goal, the only thing I focus on is yards and touchdowns, I want to average at least 150 a game, and I believe I'm averaging 120 or 120. So that's one of the goals, and obviously, touchdowns.
How many touchdowns do you have so far?
I actually have 0.
Oh, you haven't scored yet?
Yep.
Okay,
it's crazy.
Hey,
it's crazy.
That's crazy because you got over 300 some yards. How many games y'all played? 2 or 3?
We played 2.
Yeah, 2. So this will be your third game. So and you're going against a good defense with Carl Albert with a bunch of Power 5 D1 guys going to OU, and Jay Davis over there, K Davis over there, one of the top linebackers in the state. So you'll get a chance if you can get 100 yards and a couple touchdowns, man. That's saying because Carl Albert ain't gave up a touchdown yet. They're still scoring from last week against Lott Nike. I mean, so it's gonna be a great game though, man. Come down to Stillwater, Carl Albert. Like I said, you got one of the two of the better 6A teams, 6A small, then the 5A. 2-time state champions looking to try to get the third. I know Stillwater got one a couple years ago when Gunny was there. Now you got a new quarterback, big left-handed kid that can run the ball too. Now is he a first-year Stillwater player or has he been there?
Mason, our QB1, yeah, he just got over here. This is his first year, just like me.
Where'd he come from?
He came from Morrison.
Okay, now you got a number 2. I think it's number 2, little freshman kid.
Yes. David Thompson.
Yeah, he's pretty fast now. Now, does he just play offense? Is he on the defensive side of the ball too?
I would say just offense for now, but coaches every now and then, if they do need a player, that's one of the players that will come in. But as of right now, no.
No. What about you? You played any defense, just offense?
Oh, just offense.
Just offense. Now,
Yep.
do you have some schools you're interested in that you want to go to, or it's all up in the air?
Oh yeah, of course. There's schools out there.
So, if you had your choice, where would you like to go?
OSU, OU. You know what I'm saying? Texas, Nebraska. Obviously, schools like Alabama, Georgia.
Okay.
What else?
I like it.
LSU's, one of my favorite schools. So.
Yeah, they just had a freshman yesterday. His Oklahoma's dad. His dad had ties with Oklahoma. Mr. Durham. Yeah, Durham. I've known his dad. I got a chance to know his dad when he was over at Delcrest, and he played running back and was a good football player himself. But man, he was a spark plug for LSU. That's why I try to tell people: play these freshmen. Don't wait on them. Get them in the game. It's like I'm telling OU: play Lamb, play Barnes. Those guys can go. Let them get in the game. So that's
how you get them rolling.
That's it. So Mr. Green, what do you think is going to take for Stillwater to beat Carl Albert next week?
I just feel like we just got to be mentally locked in, prepared all week, outside of school and stuff like that, just communicate, make sure we good on anything that we having issues on.
Yeah. So, what's there to do at Stillwater? It ain't like Oklahoma City, Dale City, Memphis City. What do y'all do for fun at Stillwater?
For fun, I'm really like a laid back guy, so I can't really say like a lot of stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying, go out to eat. You know what I'm saying, maybe go on a walks and stuff like that. So
did you meet your little girl down there in Stillwater? Or you still got her? You got one back here in the city?
Nah, nothing like that.
Nothing like that. Say just football season right now, huh?
Yep, just football.
That's football. Are you gonna run track for Stillwater or play any other sports or just football only?
Oh yeah, I plan to run another track, so
that's big time, man. Like I said, Mr. Green, I would always tell Coach Jones last year, man, you gotta play him. You gotta play him more. He's like, I know you like him, but man, you know what? Like I said, I'm happy that you're at a place that you get to play and a place that got a chance for you can win a gold ball. I know last year you was at Dell City, you got to play in the state championship game against Carl Albert. Now you get to face him again, so you're like, hey man, I want to get at least one, before my career of high school is over though. So that'd be good, big time if you guys can, you get to match up with them again. Same team. They lost some players, QB and running back, but they're still a great team. Coach Don does a good job over there with those guys, and you guys run that zombie offense, that zombie defense, man. Do y'all run that at practice against you guys?
Oh yeah, of course. Yep.
How is it, man? Does it kind of? To me, it's. I'm telling you right now, you got to keep your head on a swivel because you don't know where somebody's coming from.
Yeah, you just got to make sure have your eyes up and stuff like that. And it's crazy that you're talking about a big game because it's actually our homecoming. So.
Woo-wee, that's it. I'm going to try to make that game, man. That's my game of the week. I'm going to try to be able to keep it 100. I don't know if me and my brother's going and Ethan's going, but I know that's the game that I want to be at. I know everybody's getting dialed in for OU and Tennessee's coming to town, so I don't know if Ethan's go because he does our OU stuff too. So it's kind of going to be really interesting. Because there's, like I said, it's going to be a big time game. That I love it when two big powerhouses can play each other and not scared of their record. Hey, let's go play the game, win, lose, or draw. Hey, let's make it a great game. I caught a game last week. I got to see Jones and Bethany play. Two different classes. One's a class 4A, the other one's 2A, but it was a great ball game, and that's what I love to see, man. It came down to the wire. I don't like to see those 60-0 games and all that kind of stuff, but love to watch high school football. High school football is the funnest. But Sheldon, man, like I said, what's some of the guys on the team that I don't know about that that you would like to give a shout out real quick on the show?
I have to say, David Thompson, Deacon Jones. You know what I'm saying? QB1 Mason. You know what I'm saying? We got the guys on defensive side. You know what I'm saying? Ethan, Jacoby, Aries, Judah, and Nehemiah, and I'm missing one, and uh, damn. Let me think.
Yo, you all right?
Uh, I have to say that's it.
That's it. So how much you weighing right about now?
I'm actually weighing 180.
Okay, that's good
You
weight.
know,
That's good weight. That's real good weight
yeah.
running the ball, though.
Uh,
That's,
Yeah, I
that's
actually gained 25 pounds this summer. You know what I'm saying? I had them was one of my goals to gain weight. You know what I'm saying? And maintain my speed, and that's what I'm trying to do.
That's big time, man. That's what it's all about, though. I mean, that's what it's all about when you can like gain weight and maintain your speed and all that. So, what's practice gonna be like today? What y'all going over today? Is it just watching film over Carl Albert, or just a full practice, hidden, and or just kind of sit back, relax, and watch film?
Watch film. You know what I'm saying? Get our body right. Walkthroughs and make sure that we got everything settled for the schedule for next week. I mean, this upcoming week.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, big homecoming, man. I mean, I know coaches hate homecoming because a lot of times they can be a distraction to the team because they're worried about eating candy and the girls in their pretty dress and them in their nice suits and tux. So I know, and picking Carl Albert, man, those guys going to take it personal. Like, why they pick us for homecoming? We're Carl Albert Titans, which, I
Yeah.
mean, that's how it is. But, sometimes you want to get the coaches like to get that homecoming over as quick as can, so then you can just worry about the regular season, dog. Was
Yep.
anybody else on your schedule that you kind of got marked and like, hey, I can't wait to play?
Choctaw.
Top.
Well, that's one of the games. It's Stillwater rivalry.
No,
And I
man,
came
yeah.
here, so now it's my rivalry. Even at Dell City,
Yeah, yeah,
it was
yeah.
like a little rivalry.
Yes,
But,
sir. Yes,
yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. Tata got a good team too, man. I know they go when Juju goes and Williams goes, so that'd be a good game. I'll probably try to make it to. Is that game gonna be at Stillwater? Or is it gonna be at Tata?
It will be at Choctaw.
Oh, it will be a child. I'll make that game then. I'll make that. I'll put that on my list to come see you play that one. But Shayden, man,
Yep.
I'm glad you gave me this opportunity, man. I mean, I got a chance to catch up with you. Like I said, I know you're not at Dell City, and I'm not doing the Coach Jones show no more. And I'm just got other things going on. But actually, as soon as I got off the phone with you, he's gonna be coming on and do a 10-minute segment with me talking about OSU and then talk about Dell City because Dell City's sitting at 1-1. Took a beating early in the season, but he had to get some things changed. And Coach Jones, he lives in the lab and sleeps in the lab, so he'll get those
Yep.
boys right. But like I said, I'm glad you got a chance to come on and talk to me and keep it real. Before I let you go, I got to ask you two more things though. What's in
sir.
the head? What's in the headset when you getting ready for the game? What you listening to?
Man, I'm listening to a lot of people. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got a little pregame playlist. It's not like just one of them ones I just listen to, but I got a little pregame playlist that I
Okay,
just get prepared for.
that's it. That's it. And what's the other? The other one is what's a pregame meal before the game? What you like to eat to get you going?
That just all just depends how I'm feeling, cause obviously for lunch, what I'm saying, I like to switch it up every now and then, but yeah, just when the time comes, just however I'm feeling.
That's good. That's good. I got a chance to watch Jinx and Union this morning. I went back and watched the game, so I kind of talk about it today on the show. Have you been having any cramp issues, or have you been kind of keeping your body fluid up and all that?
Yes, I actually had a cramp last game in Union.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Union game you went out for a little bit. I saw that because then I was like, did he get hurt? But there might have been cramps though. But man, make sure you got plenty of water.
Yep.
Start watering yourself up right now before the game even before you even get to Friday, man, and be ready, man. Like I said, may the best team wins, but I'm hoping you have a big time ball games, get your record, get your 150 yards, and a couple TDs, and get yourself going. Okay.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. Keep it 100, Oklahoma High School Sports, and tell everybody in Stillwater about Keep It 100, Oklahoma High School Sports. And like I said, this show will be up on Wednesday. You put it on your YouTube or whatever page you got going, your Twitter, your Facebook, your whatever, and everybody know hear your conversation that we just had. Okay, sir?
Of course. Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Good luck this Friday night. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Well, folks, that was Shayden Green, the outstanding running back for Stillwater. Was at Dell City. Done some big things. He's at Dell City on the Coach Jones. But took his talents to Stillwater. Folks, that's how the transfer portal goes, man. You might be here one day, but he's getting a chance to get his opportunity to play running back at Stillwater and help them try to go win a state championship. The quarterback is long and lanky, left-handed kid that can throw the block and also can run the ball. So put them two back in the backfield together. You're gonna have a tough ball game this Friday night with them and Carl Albert being their homecoming. I know when people used to make us their homecoming, it used to kind of piss me off. But like, really, you disrespecting us? Do you know who we are? We are the Bombers. 3 for the Bombers, clap, 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 But, nowadays people probably do schedule the Bombers for their homecoming because they're not the old Bombers like they used to be. But Carl Albert, I know they'll have something to say about that. I know some of the coaches will be like, what, really? Well, don't disrespect the CA Titans like that, man, because we CA. That's CA. Don't disrespect CA. But, folks, like I said, we're going to keep the show rocking and rolling. I'll bring Coach Robert Jones on in a minute. And we'll talk to him about the Dell City Eagles and then the OSU. He does the OSU game pregame show every Saturday morning. You can catch Robert on a Sports Animal talking not high school, but college football because he played at Oklahoma State. I like him, even though he's a cowboy. I still like him. We both got something coming because we both like the Dallas Cowboys. So that's one thing. So I'll keep him around as a friend because we both like the Dallas Cowboys. And our Cowboys are going for trying to be 2-0 today against the Saints. That's what we want. Dax is looking for that big time deal. But, hey, at the end of the day, I think you're going to see Deion on that staff, and I think you're going to see Deion's son running the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. But one thing about Deion's boy, I will give it to him. He will stay in the pocket. He ain't quick. He ain't no Michael Vick speed. He's going to stay in that pocket, kind of like your man that he trains with is Tom Brady, So he's built his game around Tom Brady, He stays in that pocket. The kid can play. The kid can throw the ball. I know a lot of people hate on him because he's prime as a boy, but the kid got game. I'm not going to take nothing from him. He might be one of the better quarterbacks. I think Archie Manning is the best quarterback in college football. I don't care what anybody say. I know he's a backup, but he is probably the best quarterback in college football. And it's crazy because, the kid can go. He really can. Like I said, man, high school football is really interesting what's going on. You're seeing some of these teams that, you think that they're going to be state champions, Can Carl Albert win another one? Can they win number 19? Can Dell City win their first one? Can Midwest City make it to the playoffs? Can Harrah get there to be getting the playoffs for the first time under Coach Blink? You look at my man Bethel. They're struggling over there, man. I remember a few years back, man, they were one of the hottest teams around, in their class. You look at Jones. I think Jones is a real deal, man. I think Jones is going to get kids keep moving in. You got that quarterback is just a junior. The running back, big number 44, just a junior. Luke is just a junior. The offensive line is young. Got some freshmen, got some juniors, got some sophomores on it, man. So, I just think you add a couple of great skilled guys to that team, it'd be hard to beat, man. I know they got to go through Millwood, they got to go through Washington, but I still think if you're looking at a team around, I think they got the turf. It's the atmosphere of Jones high school football, Harrah high school football. I got to give it to Carl Albert. Even their last game that I went to and they played, they played Midwest City. Just fans. Putting fans in the stands. That's what it's all about. It's the atmosphere, the fans cheering, the band cheering, cheerleaders cheering, crowd cheering. Everybody's into the game, man. You look at the back, what they call it, the Union Jinx Gun, the back ball bowl, whatever it's called. Just fans. I love it when fans are in the stands. I don't care if they got it on OSN. I don't care if they got it on the Jacket TV. I don't care if they got it on whatever YouTube channel is playing it. Get to the game. Now, if it's cold outside and it's raining, stay at home. But if the game is nice, go out there and support those young men. That's what it was all about. We didn't have all that when I played. We didn't have the YouTube channels and all those things when I played because people came. I remember playing in front of 10,000 people. When I went to Bethel College, we played in front of 50 people, and I'm looking in like, what the hell is this? And that's what you get. UCO's bringing fans out now, man. Like I said, big win last night with UCO Broncos over number 2 Central Missouri. So big things are going on at UCO. Wrestling season about to kick off. My son should be getting ready to try to win another state state championship, a national championship. He's won a couple state, but win another national championship. If he wins, lose, or draw, I mean, I love him no matter what, man. He accomplished a dream that some people never get the chance to do, and that's win. I mean, that's why he sits on my wall right now as a national championship. Proud of the young man. Proud of all my kids. You know, my daughter starts her 8th grade year of basketball over at Carl Albert. You know, I put a video up last week what they did in 7th grade. What's 8th grade going to be like? I mean, I know she's in the gym, you know, constantly in the gym, training with Erica, you know, going to yo-yo, you know. So, you know, we're doing the right things to get her, you know. And my baby doesn't care if she goes D1, D2, D3. She just want to go play college basketball somewhere, you know. And like I said, as long as somebody can help me pay for it, I'm 100% with them because, I mean, that's what it's all about. As long as she can finish her dream. She'll tell you, she's not trying to go play WNBA. She wants to go be a nurse or doctor or, you know, something big time, do ultrasounds or something, you know. I mean, so she has her mind right. Not only she's a great student, but she's also a great, you know, athlete, you know, basketball, tennis, track. I really think she could be a type of athlete that can win the 400, you know, before she graduates from high school. Like my oldest daughter was a great track star at Carl Albert. So I've been blessed with my babies, you know. Like I said, I mean, really, really blessed with all my kids and what they do. And I mean, and being blessed to be able to do this show weekly, you know. Like I said, I'm missing my 2 main guys. But, hey, the show must go on. People want to hear what we're talking about. Maybe they might like it. Maybe they don't like it. But, hey, as long as you're tuning in and listen to your favorite high school sports talk, keep it 100. That's what it's all about. Because everybody's starting their own podcast now, man. I saw Trey Young start his own podcast, man, you know, and I watched it the other day, man. It was probably one of the driest things. It might have tasted like my brother's ribs dry. But, hey, it get better. I know when we first started, man, you know, me and Ethan was kind of dry, but now we can pump it up and get it going and have fun. But that's what it's all about, folks, is being able to get on here and talk high school sports. I think I'm going to go over some of the games before I bring Robert on. Let's talk about some of the big games coming up this week. The big one's going to be you got Bigsby versus Choctaw. I don't know who's going to win that game because I think Choctaw got enough. You know, they still scored 44 points against that team. Even though they gave up 66, they still scored 44. Bigsby takes a loss against Union. Against Owasso, but Owasso seems to be the real deal. I think Union's right there. Don't really know what's wrong with Jinx, but I think Jinx will get it together. I think they might be on a bye week. I'm not sure. But that'd be a big game this week, Bigsby versus Choctaw. I'm going to take Bigsby with a slight victory, 35-28 over Choctaw. Then you got Norman North versus Moore. Moore is looking to go 3-0. Norman North has lost the game. They lost earlier to Norman. So no telling what's going to happen there. But Malachi is right now, he's hot. Team is playing good ball, so I'll look for more to get the victory over there. You got Middle City versus Dale City. Got both of their helmets on the table. I think Dale City's just a little bit better than Middle City right now. Middle City got some dudes, but quarterback had a pretty good game. Threw a touchdown pass to King last week. Got to see that. So I think Dale City gets the win over Middle City. You got Newcastle versus Elgin. Elgin's knocking people off, man. Newcastle's losing some tight ball games. Lost 21-0 to Tuttle. Then they lost 14-10 to Blanchard. Elgin's right around the corner from them again. I think Elgin's going to squeak out another one. I think Elgin might be a little bit better than what we thought they were going to be this year, even though they lost some big-time players. But I think they still got guys coming and that's coming up from the ranks of Elgin football. So I see Elgin getting the win over Newcastle. And you got Guthrie versus Blanchard. Guthrie gave Tuttle everything they wanted. Came down to the last-minute touchdown. So you could see that being a good game. Guthrie and Blanchard, but I'm going to get an edge to Guthrie because I think Guthrie is going to be a team that, hey, you're going to have to reckon with here in the long haul because I think, they got a new QB, but I think he's athletic enough. He can run, throw. I think the more and more reps he gets, the better Guthrie's going to get. And it's hard to play at the Rock. I don't know if the game's at the Rock or where, but I know Carl Albert got to go visit the Rock, so that'd be another tough game to play at, tough place to play at, just to be another great game because it's a big-time rival. So, but I'm going to get an edge to Guthrie. You got Harry versus Seminole. I think Coach Blink is looking to go 3-0. He's dancing in the hallways. He's dancing in the classrooms. He's dancing in the locker room. He's trying to do big things with Harry this year. He got one of the better backs in the state, with Jackson. QB can go to McLaughlin. Then you got the big-time little receiver, Palmer, that catches everything you throw at him. pow, got hands like Spider-Man. So they out there balling out. So good job with them. Then they got the young freshman, Kyle. I mean, been seeing some of his video, the things he's doing. So Brock. They got some young guys. So I don't think some of these guys are gonna leave. I think they're gonna just reload with some of these new younger guys and reload and do some big things. Then you got Heritage Hall versus Millwood. That should be a big game. Heritage Hall is always good. Depends on where the game's at. To me, I told people I think Millwood's lost a lot of things. I mean, he lost some key pieces. Is left. It's went on. But I think when you got great athletes, you do have my man Bivens boy over there, big time receiver. Is going to do big things for him. So I know it's his first year maybe playing football, so he might be in his second or third game. I think as the season goes on, you're going to hear his name a little bit more and more. But quarterback's a big time deal. He can beat you by himself. Big guy, man. I watched the play when he ran somebody over here the other day going in the end zone. Just ran the dude over, man. Dude 6'2", probably about 225. So whoever gets him is going to get a big time player too. Then you got Plainview versus Davis. Should be another good game. Then you got Van and Bacola. So should be a good game with those guys. But like I said, some big time games. Next week. This week coming up this Friday night. Like I said, I think the biggest one. Like I said, you got the Carl Albert and Stillwater. Then you got Bigsby and Choctaw. I think those two teams, those games will be big time games. I haven't got a chance to see Bigsby play yet. I need to go back and watch a little bit of film on them, and it kind of give me a little bit more. They get to watch Choctaw. I know that flex bone is tough to cover, but still giving up 66 points to a team that runs, man. I mean, I'd be different, Jamel Holloway. But, everybody say those guys are big up front, man. I mean, I talked to Reggie the other night, and the first thing he kept saying, man, those dudes are big. They're big, Tony. They're big. And that does make a big difference, though. Like I said, I think they did a great job trying to contain, but still scoring 44 points is a lot of points, so you can't knock them on that. And then these teams are scoring 70, man. I mean, I don't even think the starters for Carl Albert probably played a half. I don't even know how long they played. When I looked up, man, as soon as I looked up online, it was 28-0, so I stayed on the Choctaw game and watched it. I just tells you right now, man, Newton is doing his thing at QB over there, running and scoring. CJ, is it CJ, the running back? It might be CJ or whatever, the little running back. He's doing his thing. I think Delage is doing his thing. Webster, I think he's got a couple touchdowns. He's just a sophomore, so look for that name. I mean, he's related to Webster and Oku, so I just tells you right there. Then defense, they'll be getting James back pretty soon. I mean, they've got given up 2 shutouts, and one of their best defensive players on the team has not even played yet. K. Davis, another great defensive game. I don't know how much he's ran the ball, so I don't know. They might be saving him until he gets into district play. But if you can keep him strictly on defense and, run him here and there, that's fine, because I think that'll help them big time down the road, keeping them fresh and ready to go. So it should be really, really exciting. I'm telling you, I think that game Friday night is going to be a big time ball game, man. I mean, Stillwater is not bad. I mean, you go beat Union, and Union just beat Jinx. So let's tell you, and Jinx, I had Jinx at the beginning of the year winning it all, man. So I might be eating crow at the end of the year, but you still get it turned around. There's only non-conference games, so they ain't even started your district games yet. And that's where it all counts, when you get to seeding. But think about those guys, they're all got to see each other to get to the state championship. So that's what makes it so crazy with those guys, is that no matter what, Jinx might to see Union in the first round, second round. BA's kind of down, man. Like I said, Mustang getting the win over BA is big time on this side of the state. Mustang's doing good things. Coach out there is doing great things. I mean, Mustang's always going to have a good team, man. They're probably one of the bigger teams on this side of the state, as far as classroom and having kids in it, though. They probably need another high school, but they're smart not to get another high school. UConn got a win the other day. My buddy Mike Rogers, not Mike Rogers from the radio, but Mike Rogers that played at Delsey and played professional baseball. His boy is doing nice things out there at UConn. So good to see those. But, folks, we're going to take another quick break. And then we're going to end this with Coach Jones. Then we'll wrap this up, and it'll be another great episode of Keep It 100. But we're going to take another quick break after what? One of our sponsors, Keeping It 100, Oklahoma High School Sports. Right back.
Tired of going out to your trash can, having to smell so bad? Well, no further. Call Spiffy Cans. He cleans, disinfects, sanitizes. 405-423-8824 or go to spiffycansok.com. Spiffy Cans, he's your man.
Spiffy Can, he's your man.
Welcome back to Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. Like I said, on this Sunday afternoon, we got our second special guest today. It's Mr. Coach Robert Jones of the Dale City Eagles. And also, you can catch him every Saturday morning, unless they're off, on the Sports Animal talking OSU football. What's up, Coach Jones?
What's going on, man? Over here watching these Cowboys and watching this defense get shredded, man. I'm about to
Hey, Coach, time out. Coach, I just sat there and told the listeners I'm about to bring Coach Jones on. He's an OSU Cowboy, but me and him do got something in common. We're both Dallas Cowboys, and we're both looking to go 2-0 today. And now you're telling me on this phone call, because I ain't got a chance to watch the game. I can't watch the game till the show's over. But you're telling me the Cowboys are getting beat?
T, don't watch it. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Don't watch it,
man.
But it ain't Dak this time. It ain't Dak this time.
See, folks, y'all hear him? He know I be getting on Dax. But Coach, man, we're gonna talk a little bit. But first, I want you to talk about the OSU Cowboys. I know you do get to do the show. What do you think about the Cowboys right now? They're sitting 2-0, 3-0. What are they? 2-0, 3-0?
They're 3-0. They beat South Dakota State, and obviously they won a game that they probably shouldn't have, and beat Arkansas. Anybody that watched that game knew that Arkansas controlled the game entirely. Oklahoma State pulled it out, and that was a culture win. Gundy's been there for so long, so sometimes when you've been at a place for so long, you get some wins that are just built off culture.
Yes, sir.
Then they put it on Tulsa pretty good. Offensively, they're doing pretty good. It's not the way everybody thought it. Everybody thought Ollie Gordon will just come out and have this great year with the experience they had at O-line, but everybody's loading the box. So Casey Dunn's doing a good job at taking what teams are giving them, and they're giving them the passing game. So they had some receivers that stepped it up yesterday, Braylon Presley, Owens, and then the kid from Edmond Santa Fe, who was a big-time recruit. Sheridan finally had a big game. He had a touchdown and a couple big catches. So, and defensively, they're starting to play well. I'm still kind of nervous when they get against an opponent that can match up with them athletically and size-wise.
Yes, sir.
Because Arkansas did whatever they wanted to do. So we'll see this week versus Utah. We'll see what that defense is really made of. They lost Colin Oliver for the year, but it's some guys stepping up, some local guys, Deshaun Brown, Robertson from Choctaw. It's a lot of guys that we're familiar with that are playing a lot of reps. So I'm excited to see them go against Utah this weekend.
Coach, you talk about Ollie. I said something about Ollie Gordon earlier, I said, man, and I'm not being a hater or nothing, but I was like, everybody talked about how good he was last year. And I said, man, I don't hope he's not a Milli Vanilli, a one-hit wonder, Girl, it's true because, you look at these games, I think he only has one game over 100-some yards, and he's got 17, 18 carries, and he's not getting 100 yards. And last year he was getting 200 yards, 300 yards on some of these teams. So I know you said they're low in the box, but you think there's different ways Casey can get him the ball? Because I think everything is up the middle. Yeah. Can we not try to do some not jet sweeps, but some halfback toss, something? Get him out on space.
T, what's happening is last year he was making people miss at the second level. So
yes,
he was
sir.
breaking those tackles with the linebackers and cornerbacks because he kind of snuck up on everybody because he didn't play the first half of the season. Well, now everybody know who you are. So they're not missing those tackles because you're the whole game plan now. He's not breaking tackles on the second level. And Casey Dunn has to do a little bit more instead of just running straight downhill in inside zone. Let's run some counter plays where we pull the guard. Let's get in some formations where you got to make the safeties and corners come up and tackle on the edge.
Yes, sir.
So Casey can do a little bit better job on organizing the plays to get them in better positions. But Ollie Gordon, if you're the best running back in the nation, you got to make people miss on the second level, and he's not doing that right now.
Yes, sir. Right now it seems like Brandon Presley is their offense. If teams, when like I said, when the teams get to see more film on them, and you'll probably start seeing team brackets. Brandon Presley, what's number 10's name? Is it Lewis? Number 10, the receiver.
Owens, the big kid.
Yeah, big guy, man, big time receiver. I don't think they throw him the ball enough. I think Presley is like, man, it's quarterback Bowman. Is it?
Yeah,
Bowman's. I think
they got a relationship, and then he's dating Casey Dunn's daughter too, so you can kind of tell that he's been the focus point. I don't think that's the reason why, but.
That's his blanket though. Hey, I'm gonna go to him.
Blanket.
I mean that's. But and he catches everything though. And it's sad because his brother plays for Tulsa. Did he even play yesterday?
Yeah, he got one catch, but he didn't play a lot. They're saying his size has really been an issue And I was worried about that him going to college, but I thought he was so athletic that it wouldn't be an issue. But they're saying he's just so up and down, and he's really struggling with the size and the athleticism that comes on the next level. But I think that he's still young. He's only his second year. I think before it's all said and done, Tulsa has to find a way to get that young man the ball. We saw the talent that he had in high school. There's no
Yes,
way
sir.
that he can't.
I mean, he's a
That
parade all.
can't transfer.
Well, he was a parade, Gatorade All American and all that. So I mean, the guy
Yeah.
got game. You don't win those honors in high school if you can't play. So they do need to find a way to give him the ball. But Stillwater's doing big things. I think the Big 12 is wide open. I think Utah's quarterback went down yesterday, so it'd be interesting to see what happens next week. Is that game at
Yeah,
Stillwater, or is it at?
it's in Stillwater. It's in Stillwater. He can't stay healthy. It seems like
Yeah.
every year he's hurt. So
Yes,
I'm
sir.
like, I don't think Utah's a favorite to me. I had them as a favorite because they're just so physical, and I don't think the Big 12 teams can match that for 4 quarters. But if that quarterback can't stay healthy, it really is wide open, Coach. It's 7 teams that I wouldn't be surprised if they won it, honestly.
That's big time. Well, Coach, not only do you do the OSU, pregame show, but you also coach a high school team here in the Dell City that played for a state championship last year, and you're trying to find a way to get back. I know you took a loss early this year against Edmond Memorial, but I think that you've got some things turned around. You got a big game that's coming this Friday night. The Mid-Dell War, the real Mid-Dell War. I know Carl Albert was talking the other day. It hurt my feelings a little bit, Coach. They said we're playing the other team of Midwest City. I was like, man, Carl Albert, y'all wouldn't have said that back in the '90s when I was playing because I tell you, Coach.
Alumni didn't like that.
I know it hurt. It hurt a little bit, Coach, for them to say that. My baby go there, so I gotta give him some love. And I do like Coach Dunn, So I just took it. I took it on the chin. Then we got beat. I think they beat us 60-0 or something. They beat us pretty bad. I know they beat us pretty bad a couple weeks ago. But hey, Coach Jones, you got the Midwest City Bombers this week. Coach Hall, a guy that you know really well, and he's done some big things in his past. When he was at not Stillwater, but Star Spencer, then at Booker T, winning a couple of state championships. But the Bombers been kind of slow last few years. But what do you see on film that they're good at, and some things that you could take advantage of?
Well, starting off with Coach Hall, man, I have so much respect for him just because what he's done. Being an African American, we're starting to see more African American coaches now, but we didn't see that in the early 2000s and 90s. So what he's done is really kind of paved the path for me and other coaches that are getting those opportunities. And he's won a lot of games in Midwest City. I think a lot of people get so caught up in the success that Dell City and Carl Albert's had that they kind of forget that Midwest City's been winning 8 to 7 games a year, and that's pretty successful for most programs. But with the background Midwest City has and alumni they have, they're going to want championships because that's what we grew up seeing. So I respect that as well. Midwest City's a good team. You watch them when I've been studying the film against them versus Carl Albert. Going into it was 1:32 left in the second quarter, and it was 7-0.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
I don't know what happened in the second half, but that was a close game. They did a good job stopping the run. I feel like Carl Albert's quarterback Newton, he did a good job. Once they got him, he kind of changed the pace because he was able to do some quarterback run game. But they're a great team. It's a splitting image of us. They're athletic on the defensive side of the ball. They're going to have DBs that can go man-to-man coverage, and they got guys that can fly around. Coach K likes to blitz a lot. I coached with him for a few years, so I know he takes pride in that D-line, and he really wants to put pressure on the quarterback. I know we got a young quarterback, so he's going to try to rattle him. I think some things we could take advantage of is just on the outside. We got good receivers, and we're going to have to take some shots, and our kids are going to have to make plays. And then we got an experienced offensive line with 3 senior starters coming back with Shane Thornton, Chauncey Jones, and Quaylen Goodman. We're going to have to run the ball, just like we had the mindset versus Booker T. Booker T had 2 Division I D tackles that are going to be the real deal. And I promise you that Booker T will be in the playoffs, and they will give some people some trouble, because when you got 2 Division I D tackles, that just it's hard once that weather gets cold and things like that. So we knew going into the Booker T game, we got to establish the run. And I feel like that's something that we didn't do as well last year. We just always scored big plays, and we really didn't establish the run and wear defenses down. So we know we got to come out and establish the run and take our shots when we need to. This is a rival game, so it can go either way. I don't want our kids coming in and looking at, well, heck, we beat them the last 3 years. This is a new year. This is a new team that, they just got to win. So they're kind of confident. They just beat PC West. So we know what's at stake. We know this is a big-time rivalry, one of the best rivalries in the state of Oklahoma. So we know that we got to show up. We got to be physical, and we're going to have to bring our A game to beat them, because we're not at a point where we can just show up and think we could beat people because we got the Dell City on our helmet. And I felt like that's what we did versus Edmond Memorial. I felt like our kids were getting patted on the back all off season. Hey, you made it to the state championship. Hey, you're great, this and that. And they showed up and got hit in the mouth versus Edmond Memorial. Then we kind of bounced back and got back to what we need to do versus Booker T. So this week, we're focused on just controlling what we can control. And that's our practice habits. That's ignoring the noise outside on people telling us how great we are. People are going to say, well, y'all going to beat Midwest City. They're going to kill Midwest City. No, we got to show up and strap our helmets up and tie our cleats out and go get the win like we're supposed to. You're not going to get a win off the media or your family and your friends telling you you're going to beat somebody. You're going to have to go actually go do it because they're a physical football team.
Well, Coach, like I said, man, you guys, sitting at 1-1. Midwest City finally got their first win over Putnam City, and I know people's probably going to make fun of me. Not make fun of me because I just kept it 100. I said PC West might be one of the worst teams. But they was on MTV for being really, really bad back in the day. And they might be there again, man. I mean, just, with all those athletes you see that get over at PC West, you always want to look at, is it the coach? Is it coaching? Is it the coach? What is it? Because, you got some great athletes over there and they can't win, and it just drives me insane when you got kids over there, and now with the transfer portal being where it's at, I kind of talked about this on the show earlier. I talked about Jones having a number 7. I don't know his name, and they said it the other night, but I don't know Jones players that well, but he was a player that I thought really stood out, Coach. I told you that yesterday, and he's a guy that I thought that should be playing both sides of the ball 99% of the time, unless he needs a break. But every time he touched the ball, it was something exciting was going to happen, and I don't think they use him enough. And sometimes I wonder why coaches do that. I mean, I don't know if it's because it's the touchdown club. Mom and dads get mad. Somebody's like, hey, my baby got to get touches too. I know you're not that type of coach. So
I think they're stuck in the old school style where you got to play one way. I'm going to play both ways, and I'm going to put the best players on the field. And I don't see how you can do that when you're just going one way. It's impossible. You got to put the best. Now, I think sometimes you can do that versus certain teams and certain situations, but you got to get your best players out there. And
find a way
I
to
look
get
at
the ball.
schools like I look at schools like PC West. I'm not there, but I just know the experience I had when I first got to Dell City. And it really starts in the off season and getting a structure set and setting the standard. And you might have to cut a couple good players just to show the kids that, hey, we're going to do things right. We're going to play hard. So some of these programs, I'm seeing stuff like kids quitting, kids not giving full effort. That's unacceptable at Dell City, and our kids know that. So I think some of these coaches got to just go back to the drawing board and just, hey, if we're going to lose, we're going to lose doing things the right way and playing hard and not being scared and being physical consistently.
That's true, Coach. I mean, you're right about that, though. And this week we got some big games, I know you guys are part of one of them, but one of the big games in 6A, you're going to have let me see what we got here, Coach, and I'd like to get some of your words from it. You got Bigsby versus Choctaw. Choctaw, they both got losses, and I was kind of talking about Choctaw. People's all gonna be mad at me because I kind of gave them a shout out, and I say, hey, your defensive coordinator was talking noise to Coach Moore, talking about I don't talk to junior high coaches, but I said, Coach, that's what I said. I'm gonna keep it 100. I said I don't know why he gonna say that because you gave up 66 points. If Gerald Moore was if Coach Moore was smart, he'll come back and say, well, when you quit giving up 66 points, I come talk to you. That's just me keeping it 100. But I said you got a big game with Choctaw and Bigsby this week. How do you think that'll go down?
Well, just speaking on that Coach Moore thing, I think coaches got to just have respect for what people have done in the Mid-Dale area too. J.R. Moore was
big time
I
player.
believe he was. I think he was Gatorade Player of the Year when he was at Carl Albert.
Big time player, Coach.
Championships.
Big time player, Coach.
I mean, that's a big time player. And then, looking at Choctaw going against that Kansas school, man, they run the option and they run it to a T, and they're a 6A champion. And I watched some of their highlights, man. They get off the ball. They run the offense similar to Piedmont, but it wasn't no joke. So when you play teams like that, it kind of shows where you are from a physical standpoint. So I don't know where Choctaw's at, but if I gave up 66 points, Coach, I'm going to be off social media for a while. I'm going to be off the phone, and I'm getting back to the drawing board and get some things fixed because I've been there before. And guess what? Guess the team that did that to me was Bixby. Bixby going to put 50, 60 points on me, and they're physical, and, they're not used to losing football games, and they lost their early game, but they're kind of like Carl Albert. They're going to be in the mix when it's all said and done, and it's going to be a physical football game. Everybody knows the rivalry that comes with those two teams. Choctaw and Bixby were playing in the state championship. So I'm excited to see if Choctaw can rebound and coming off that loss and they can regroup and get back together. They got a lot of talent. But Bixby is going to be physical. They're going to come out and try to prove a point. So I'm excited to see this game. And I think, I got to roll with the state champ. You know, Bixby is a hard team to pick against because they've really been controlling the state of Oklahoma for the last 7 years. So Coach McGrumpy does a great job with the strength and conditioning program. Every time you see something on social media, they got 4th and 5th graders lifting weights like they're in high school. And I think that's been the difference for them in the last 6 or 7 years.
Well, Coach, another game I'm really intrigued about in 6A, you got Norman North versus Moore. Moore sit at 2-0. First time they've been city champions in a long, long time, Coach. And, I mean, they knock off Westmore, they knock off Sophomore, you know. And I last week I had a chance to have the quarterback on the show, Malachi, you know, a young man that came from Santa Fe. Now, think about it, Coach. Santa Fe had Malachi in Newton.
Golly.
Coach.
That's unbelievable.
Malachi in Newton. I know they both can't play QB, but they're both athletes. And you're struggling over there in Santa Fe. You're struggling over there now. Struggling.
Yeah.
You have Malachi in Newton, but you're struggling. But both of these young men are sitting at 2-0, and Malachi and Newton both. You know, and Newton he's really started getting going because he was kind of hurt doing the
He's a good football player.
He
man.
is,
He's
man.
A good football player.
I tell you, man, love to his uncle that's raising him. He's doing a great job raising him. Me and him talk on social media. I got a chance to meet him at the Midwest City Carl Albert game. You know, we DM each other, talk, man, and just to, you know, I'm gonna have Newton on here soon to tell his story because, man, it's not football, man. It's not just about football. It's all about life. And when you got a family member, because you got a lot of people out there, young men and women don't have mom and dads. You know, I talk about it. I never had a dad, so I try to be the best father to my kids. And I know sometimes I can be a hard ass on Zoe. Gabe's grown now, so he don't even listen to me. But, you know, and I do it because you want the best for your babies, and that's why I do it. But I tell you right now, man, just to see these two young men doing what they're doing at different schools, and sometimes you got to leave, Coach. And it's not a bad
and some of these programs are experiencing kids leaving, but they've been doing that. You know, kids have been coming to them from other programs for years. So
yes, sir.
When the shoe's on the other foot, you can't get mad because you've been having success off of it. So when we lose kids like Shayden Green,
I had him on the show earlier, Coach.
Stillwater. Coach, I'm so happy for him.
Yeah.
I want all the success for the kid. I'm not mad.
No.
I'm not upset with him. I'm glad he's doing successful. He's been successful at Stillwater. And that's just part of the business. That's going to happen. But don't be mad and upset. Be happy that the kid's doing well.
Yes, sir. Coach Jones, I miss our show, man. I miss the show, Coach Jones. I miss talking, man. We get into it. I love it. Talk to me, Coach. Talk.
As far as the more they're playing Norman North, you said?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to tell you right now, we scrimmage against Moore. And I'm going to tell you this. That is the most physical offensive line that I have seen in the last 2 to 3 years. They're right there with what Carl Albert was last year. They are very physical. Coach Brian has done a good job rallying the troops. When you lose a top player, like they lost the kid to Tuttle, I think sometimes that can either hurt you or it can make everybody kind of gel together and say, hey, we're going to show you that he wasn't our whole team. And they're showing it. I'm telling you right now, they are a physical football team. Yeah, we all talk about the skilled players and how they can really turn the tide and help a team like we had last year with Rodney Field and LaDainian. But if you got a great offensive line like the Cowboys used to have back in the day with Emmitt Smith, you can really win off your offensive line. Their offensive line is the most physical football team I've seen in the last 2 or 3 years. They get off the ball. They do a good job with that quarterback being mobile. They're going to be a team that's going to make some noise in 6A. I'm telling you, because that offensive line is very, very physical, and they get after it. So I don't think Norman North is going to be able to handle that physicality for 4 quarters. I think it'll be a close game because Coach Jones does a good job with Norman North. But I think at the end of the day, I think Moore is going to be able to use the athletic ability of that quarterback, and I think that offensive line is going to wear Norman North down, and we'll see Moore come out with the victory.
That's big time because, like I said, Malachi's having a hell of a season, throwing the ball, running the ball. I think he's player of the week last week or player of the game. So put up big numbers against sophomore. Sophomore's not a bad team. It's one of the teams I think is young. I know Coach White over at Westmore so looking for his first win. He'll have a tough match this week against Mustang. Mustang comes off a big win against Broken Arrow. So that just tells you right there. And I love it when this side of the state can go beat up on one of them Tulsa teams, especially Broken Arrow. They're a state champion, 5 or 6 years ago, Coach? Now they can't win a ball game. Why? What happened? Why? Because they keep going to Jinx, but Jinx can't win. Talk to me about Jinx, Coach. How you get 20 guys move in and you can't win? Talk to me.
Well, Coach, it's kind of like sometimes it's happening in the NBA. It happened with the Brooklyn Nets when you got Kyrie, Kevin Durant, and Kevin Harden. It's because you always get the best players to move together. The question is, can they gel together? Can they not be jealous? Can they not be jealous that the other guy's getting the shine? Can they stay off social media and causing distractions for the team? It's a lot of different factors that go into there. Now, I do believe Jinx will be in the mix at the end of the season because I just think it's going to take more time for all those move-ins to gel together.
Yes, sir.
Because you got to remember, you still got kids at the school that are probably mad and upset that these guys are coming in and taking our playing time. So it's probably the locker room may be a little shattered, but I think that's a great coaching staff. I think they're going to get them gel together. So they will be one of the teams that will be in the mix at the end. But I think it's going to take time. And when you're a high-profile team like that, people don't understand the pressure that comes with that. Like last year, we were supposed to win, and that was pressure every game. Like we were winning, but hell, I feel like I wasn't having fun because you're so scared because everybody's putting that pressure that you should win because you have this much talent. And people don't understand how much pressure that is to get all those guys the ball, to make everyone happy. The parents are calling. There's so many different factors that go into that. So I think Jinx is just having an issue of gelling together. But I think by the end of the season, they will gel together, and they're going to be the talent will prevail, especially because the coaching staff is so great. So I think they'll be in the mix towards the end. But I am kind of shocked because I thought that they would be the team that would run away with it. And Owasso is showing everybody that, hey, we got a new head coach. He's doing a great job. Another black man that got another opportunity
yes, sir.
to show that we are in positions now that we are able to show that we're not just a DB coach. We're not just your defensive line coaches, that we can run programs and we can be successful. Deion Sanders ain't the only black man that can coach, and I'm glad that we're able to show not only Oklahoma but the whole nation that, hey, man, black men can coach. Let's give guys the opportunity. Not saying nothing against white coaches. I think they do a great job, and they need to continue doing a great job. But I'm glad to see another black man that's getting an opportunity to show that you can be successful as a black man, as an athletic director and a head coach.
Well, Coach, Jinx, they lose a tough ball game. I got a chance to watch that game this morning. I talked about it earlier on the show. I think Jinx did get robbed. I think the kid scored a touchdown at the very end. The kid that was ineligible, that came from BA, now he's eligible. What was his name again? Do you remember? I don't know if you might not know him.
I don't remember, but I know who you're talking about.
Like they use him a little bit, not use him a lot. I know he just finally got eligible, but I feel like the quarterback right now with Jinx is off a little bit, man. I don't know. He's went to this sidearm, Patrick Mahomes style throwing. He skipped a lot of balls, missed a lot of balls, man. He played like a freshman, and he's a senior. He just fumbled the ball, bad snaps, and all that, man. And
sometimes when you have that many athletes and you're as a quarterback, you start to stress yourself.
Yes, sir.
To try to get everybody the ball.
I
think River did a good job because he was mature and he had started for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't let all that little, because you know how receivers can be divas and running backs. He actually was able to handle that. He said, hey, I'm gonna get the guy the ball who's open. But so that kid being a younger kid, he probably feeling that stress of, hey, we got to give the Jones kid the ball. Hey, I got to give this kid the ball. Hey, I got to do this. And so he's not playing naturally instead of just let it happen. Sometimes he's probably getting pulled in a lot of different ways. That's why I think towards the end of the year, he's going to be able to calm down, and then we're going to see that athletic ability and the talent that they have at Jinx really start to shine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, another big ball game this week. You got Stillwater versus Colorado 5A. You got a powerhouse 5A. Then you got Stillwater coming off a state championship a couple years ago, going against Colorado. Two great coaches, two great programs. Colorado's looking to go 19, get another gold ball. I know you got one of those gold balls when you was part of them. And then Stillwater's looking to try to get their second gold ball in the last 2 to 3 years. But your running back that was with you, Shayden Green, is over there now. Got a chance to talk to him earlier. He's averaging about 120 yards a game. He's had some cramp issue. He hasn't scored a touchdown yet. And I said, if he can go get 120 against this defense, he's doing big time things because Colorado, I know Mr. James is still out, but their defense is still low. They haven't gave up a point yet. So how do you see this game this Friday night?
Well, I know the coaching staff personally at Colorado, and I know the job they do scheming and putting their kids in the best situation. And these are two great programs going head to head. Stillwater's going to have a great offensive line. They're going to be able to run the ball, and they really keep it simple. They're one, like I remember we played them when they had Gundy son at quarterback. They ran the same formation all game. They never changed the formation, but they were so good at it that they would be able to be successful. So that goes to show these young coaches, you don't have to do all this trickery stuff. Let's just keep it simple and do what you do. But I got to roll with Carl Albert, man. I got to roll with the state champion. They're proven to be able to be winning 18 state championships in the last 30 years is remarkable. They've shown that they can get new players plugged in and always have those kids buy into the system. I think that coaching staff and what they do is just incredible. I think they're going to be able to come up with the schemes to be able to stop stop Stillwater's run game, and then they have the secondary to be able to play some man-to-man, to be able to play some zone coverages
Yes, sir.
to really confuse the quarterback. I think Carl Albert's going to pull it out, but I think it's going to be an overtime type game that can really go either way. But I think Carl Albert, with their experience as a coaching staff and that experience as just the culture of winning year after year, is going to be the thing that decides the victory. And I think Carl Albert will pull it out.
You know, Coach, another one I want to look at. I got a couple more on here, and then we'll get back to talk about the Eagles real quick before we end this call. But looking at the Guthrie Blue Jays, they lose a close ball game beginning of the year. They lose to Tuttle, you know, right with like 30 seconds left. QB throws a good, nice pass to the big receiver, scores it, end up upsetting Guthrie at Guthrie. But you got Guthrie versus Blanchard. I think Blanchard is a team that's competing in 4A. For another state championship, but Guthrie lost some players. The great team they had last year. You got to play them in the playoffs and ran away with it. Wasn't even close. But Guthrie's one of those teams every year in 5A that people always got on the board and said, "Hey, keep an eye out on." So, how you think this game could go?
Who'd you say they're playing against?
They're playing against Blanchard. I'm sorry.
Well, Blanchard is another guy that comes from the Coach Rose tree. Coach Craig coached Carl Albert. He became the head coach of Dale City. Had some success here. They won a state championship last year, and we see them every year in the Pac Cam. Coach now that's another offensive line that is brutally physical. So they're physical. I mean, it's going to be a bloodbath with Guthrie, and Guthrie's a physical team too. So this is a really intriguing matchup. I don't know what Guthrie's bringing back defensively, but they're always going to be tough to handle, because they bring people from all different places. They're going to play tight coverage with the secondary, so that quarterback's going to have to really make some great throws from Blanchard. But I got to go with Guthrie here. I think Coach Beebe's going to do a good job of rallying the troops. I think Blanchard is very talented, and they're very physical up front. But I think overall, Guthrie's going to have the athletic ability on the outside with their skilled players to be able to. But it's another game that's going to go into overtime that can go either way. But I just think with the offensive line play of Guthrie and how they do things, and then the experience of being in these big games of going against Carl Albert, Dale City, they're going to be ready for what Blanchard brings to the table. But I wouldn't be surprised if it goes into overtime and Blanchard wins it. But I think Guthrie's going to pull it off, because they're just used to playing against these big-time teams like this, and they're going to be able to handle the physicality. And I don't know if Blanchard's going to be used to what Guthrie brings to the table defensively, because that defensive line, no matter what year it is, they're going to come get after you. And if you're not ready for that, you haven't seen that, especially being a 4A team, I just don't know if they're going to be able to handle it consistently all game.
Well, Coach, this is my last one. I'm going to have you pick on a team that you're going to play here in a few weeks. I know you're not peeking ahead, but you got one eye, looking at them. You got Collinsville versus Bartlesville. Bartlesville sitting at 0-1, but Collinsville's a team that's in 5A. Everybody's talking about could be a contender in the 5A state championship. I know they got to go through you, Carl Albert, and to get to that point, along with Bishop McGinnis and Guthrie and some of these other teams. But a team that's brings back a lot this year is Collinsville's. What do you see about them? I know you play them in a few weeks.
So we play them next week after we play Middle City. So
Okay.
They're a big-time team. And they're another team that is big and physical. When you walk out and see them, they got a 6A offensive line. I heard something this weekend. I don't know how true it is. I heard the quarterback hurt his shoulder from Collinsville, and he's a big-time player. So if that is the case, now that game is more even.
Yes,
I just think if he's not hurt, I think Collinsville is just they're too big. They're too experienced. I think that's a team that's not talked about enough in 5A. I know they lost to Carl Albert in the playoffs, but Carl Albert had 6 OU commits. If you got 6 OU commits, it's hard to beat a team that has 6.
That's half of a team.
I know everybody in Oklahoma is down on OU, but I guess they got to see yesterday that, hey, that guy was the number one quarterback in the nation, and y'all need to be patient and let him develop a little bit. He showed everybody that he's going to have some ability, but I think Collinsville's a team that's not talked about enough in 5A, man. I think everybody talks about Carl Albert, they bring up Guthrie and Bishop McGinnis, and now they're talking about Lawton Mackey. And then Collinsville is just slowly creeping in and getting better and better. And they got a lot of guys returning. They got a big time receiver. I just think if that quarterback's not injured, they're going to be somebody to reckon with in the future. But if he is hurt, I think it bounces out a little bit, because Bartlesville is a team that's very intriguing, because they bounced from 6A2 to 5A, 6A2, and they're used to playing against these big time offensive lines. They're used to playing against these offensive schemes that the higher classes bring. So I think if the quarterback is injured, I think it's going to be a game that's close. But I think Collinsville, with their size and experience, because they won a state championship just 2 years ago, I think that'll pull it out. But if that quarterback plays, I think it'll be a 14 to 21 point win by Collegeville.
Well, Coach, like that's great stuff, man. But let's finish up with your team real quick, man. Let's talk about some of the new guys that you've added to the team. Your young quarterback, he's growing up each week every time he steps on a Friday night, he gets to grow up, man. I mean, has some good, like I said, even against Edmond Memorial, you guys didn't outscore him, but you had more yards than him. More first downs and everything. You beat him in every category, but to score. But he went off to got potential to play in Booker T. Had a big time game there. And you got Rickler Holmes. You got most of you guys coming back on defense. I mean, yeah, you lose LaDainian, you lose Rodney, you lose some of those guys, but some of these guys got to step up though. So tell me about some of the guys that can step up and fill those shoes.
Well, starting off with the quarterback, he's dealing with an offensive coordinator, which is myself, that has never called an offense, that had 3 or 4 days to get prepared to go against a 6A team that I think is going to be in the mix. They'll be a playoff team. I don't know how far they will go, but anytime you got the number one quarterback and have an offensive line like that, you're going to be successful. So that first game, we were able to outgain Evermore. We got in the red zone 4 times. We just didn't capitalize. And I put that on me. I didn't have a good red zone plan, and I knew it all week. But when you're trying to cramp everything in the 4 days, it's just difficult. You call the offense before T. It don't matter what level it's on. Offense. It's just tough.
Yes,
but we were able to have a full another week with Booker T, and we were able to game plan. Now we have another week that we're able to implement the game plan. I think this week everybody's going to get to see what I really want to do offensively, and they're going to be able to see what we're trying to accomplish offensively. And he's growing up each day. He's coming into a new atmosphere coming from Tuttle. We got to be honest; those are 2 different demographics. Let's put it out there.
Let's just keep it real.
Let's keep it real. So you're coming from Tuttle to Dale City. That's 2 different atmosphere, because Dale City kids are going to want the ball. They're going to talk a little different. That swagger is going to be a little different. So he's really starting to understand that. Then we got Caleb Blackwood, the sophomore that's coming from El Reno. He's going to be a big-time player. He reminds me a lot of Donovan Stevens. He could play a lot of multiple positions. He could play running back, safety, linebacker. He's just a ball player. He's an old-school football player. And we got 2 offensive linemen that came from Western Heights, Arnico and Orion Daniels. They're twins. And their first game, to me, was against Edmond Memorial. That's their first real varsity game, because I just don't think Western Heights was playing against the type of competition that was against Edmond Memorial. So that was their first game. They really were able to get some huge experience against Booker T, going against 2 Division I tackles. So I think moving forward for the rest of the year, they're going to be going against guys that weren't as talented as those 2 fronts that they saw from Edmond Memorial and Booker T. So they're going to really help us. And then we got Demarion Turner. He went against a D1 receiver last week from Booker T. He held him to 2 catches for like 13 yards. He's kind of stepping into that mode of replacing LaDainian Fields and replacing Kanaiju as that shutdown DB that we can have. Then Jashawn McAllister. Everybody always knows him. He's that playmaker. He's like that honey badger. He's always going to make plays. I think people are going to start to see as we progress in the season that he's going to be a playmaker for us defensively. Then our defensive line is so experienced, and they've been playing in so many big games that Taven Johnson, we moved Jarvis Kelly. He's going to play some defensive end. The defensive coordinator's son, I think he's back in his comfort zone. And we got some linebackers that people haven't really heard about them, but I think they will by the end of the season. Akadiri, Christian Akadiri, he's a 6'2", 195 kid. We have Javante Nikwe. They're real fast. They both run the hurdles and track. They're athletic. I think people are going to really get to see who they are coming up this week in Midwest City, just because they're so explosive and fast. Then Nick Holmes, he's a big-time corner that's 6'3", 190 pounds. He's coming from Western Heights as well. That first couple games, he was just getting used to the atmosphere and the attention that Dale City gets when we have games. So I think this week we're going to see a real controlled team with all those players that are new and all our players that already been in this game. And, I say this humbly, but these kids haven't lost to Midwest City this senior class hadn't lost to Midwest City since they were in 6th grade. So we all know when you have a confidence over a team like that, it just pays dividends. So you look at Oklahoma State and OU, it's the reason why that record is so lopsided. Once you get that confidence against a team, it just carries over. So I think these kids are going to be confident. I think it's going to be more of a team that's calmed down, more of a team that realizes that, hey, it don't matter what we did last year. It just matters what we're going to do this year when we strap our helmet and cleats on. So I'm excited to see all these guys come together Friday against the great Midwest City team and see what we can do.
Well, Coach Jones, man, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show, man. We could talk football all day long, man. I mean, that's why you on that sports animal, man. I mean, hey, when you got a voice like that, you know,
it's fun, ain't it?
It's good time. I mean, I want to keep going, but I know
Sir.
we still got to edit this show, and I still got a couple of things I got over.
Sir.
But Coach Jones, like I said, man, you talk about losing your offensive coordinator and your line coach, but you don't make excuses. Hey, we lost. You know what? That's on me, and that's what I like about you, Coach Jones. Why we did the show for 4
It was on me, man. We can't get in the red zone. We can't get in the red zone 4 times to get 0 points. That's on me. I took on the role. I could have went and found somebody. I could have went and got an offensive coordinator, but I said, no, shit, this is my team, and I'm gonna do it. So I took on the role, and we got in there 4 times. You can't get in the red zone regardless if you call it for one day or 10 years. If you get in the red zone 4 times, you owe it to your community and kids to get in the dang end zone. We didn't. So I'll take that loss on the chin, but it was a learning experience for me. And I think moving forward, I'm going to be able to have more success because I understand what's needed at that side of the ball.
Well, Coach Jones, if you can put your, way you coach defense, if you get that offense going like you coach defense, man, team's gonna be in trouble because not only gonna be able to put up points,
That's
but you're
what
gonna
I'm
be
excited about.
Yeah, you're gonna be able to put up points, and then you're gonna be able to shut them out. I know you and Jarvis took one to the chin when you said, "Hey, man, we gave up 35 points to." And Memorial's a good team. I mean, you can't take that from when you got the best quarterback. Of course, you can have the best quarterback and a couple guys around him just okay, but he can make them other guys even better though. So, and that having Rivers, and you saw that last year with Sperry. You see that with some of these quarterbacks, man. I mean, when you have a big time quarterback like Tuttle, I mean, a kid over at Tuttle, a big time young quarterback. Now
we saw that Midwest City a couple years ago when they had that quarterback. When you got a quarterback that's a big time player, you're going to win football games. He's going to hit. Yes, sir.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you, man. Good luck this Friday night. Go take care of them Bombers. I hate to say it, but where them Eagles at? Yeah. Where them Eagles at? Yeah, yeah. So, Coach, I appreciate you, man.
Sir.
Good luck this week, okay? Thank you.
Okay, appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
Folks, that's Coach Jones, the head football coach of the Dell City Eagles, looking to go back to try to win a state championship. Came close last year, but he's looking at a chance to win it this year. But, hey, Carl Albert said, wait a minute, Coach Jones. We love you. We know you was a tight end one time, but now you're an Eagle. We ain't going to give it to you. We didn't give it to you last year. But Coach Hall said, wait a minute, Jones. You got to come beat me this Friday night. You got to come get me this Friday night. But Jones said, hey, I know what to do now in the red zone. I know how to get plays called. But I'm telling you, folks, he's a great defensive coordinator. Now he got to call plays because, hey, he lost a couple of coaches. But, hey, don't make excuses. You got to go play the ball game. But, folks, like I said, it's a great show. Love it when I can get people on and talk to. Love it when I can bring coaches on, especially with coach that knows what he's talking about. And, hey, he ain't making excuses. If I brought Coach Don on, he'll be the same way. Bring Coach Hall on. These guys know, man. But, like I said, I love what Wausau's coach is doing. Hey, same team, just new dream. That's all it is. Same team, new dream. Folks, I'm asking you really, really nicely, subscribe to the show. We want to get our subscribers up. Also, leave a comment. Give us a thumbs up, thumb down. Hey, it's not going to hurt our feelings. It's called Keep It 100. Some people hate to hear the truth. If I'm doing something bad, tell me. My wife tells me, you did this too much. You said too much. You didn't do this enough. But, folks, thank you for watching. Liking Keeping 100s. Like I said, subscribe to the show. Give us thumbs up, thumbs down. Leave a comment. I love the people that leave comment. I'm waiting to hear from Mr. Newton's Uncle Steve. I'm waiting to hear from you, baby. Hit me. Big time game this Friday night. We're going to find out what them Titans all about. Carl Albert versus Stillwater, and it's Stillwater's homecoming. Stay tuned to next week's show. Keep It 100, Oklahoma High School Sports. See ya.